Imagine this, you're courtside at the French Open, heart pounding as the crowd erupts for a champion. But then, the spotlight hits her face twisted in a grimace that could curdle milk, eyes like daggers under a brow that's more battle scar than beauty mark. She's not just playing tennis, she's waging war on aesthetics itself. Who is this beast who dared dominate the WTA while looking like she was sculpted from yesterday's leftovers? Stick around, because we're ripping the veil off the ugliest players in WTA history, the ones who made fans avert their eyes harder than a bad line call. If beauty queens like Anna Kournikova sold tickets with their smiles, these warriors sold fear with their mugs. And trust me, the first name on this list will have you choking on your popcorn. Don't blink, you'll miss the shock. What if I told you the Queen of Ugly crashed the party in the 90s, not with grace, but with a scowl that echoed like a thunderclap across clay courts? Enter Monica Seles, the pint-sized powerhouse from Yugoslavia who stabbed her way into infamy literally. Picture a girl barely out of her teens, ponytail swinging like a wrecking ball, but her face? Oh, it's a roadmap of snarls and squints, lips pursed in perpetual disdain as if the ball owed her money. Fans whispered she looked like a feral cat who'd discovered espresso, all compact fury and zero filter. Yet, she devoured majors, 5 in a row from 90 to 92, Australian Open, French twice, US Open unbeatable until that kitchen knife in Hamburg turned her world red. Recovery? She came back swinging, but the scars weren't just skin deep, they etched deeper lines into that already rugged visage, making every grunt a visual assault. Opponents like Steffi Graf must have faced double vision not from nerves, but from recoiling at the mirror image of rage staring back. Seles wasn't pretty, she was primal, a reminder that tennis isn't always about poise, sometimes it's about baring teeth and biting down. Her story twists the knife further, stabbed at 19, sidelined for 2 years, emerges to win one more Australian in 96, but the fire in her eyes? It burned hotter than her backhand, leaving a legacy of triumphs laced with tragedy. Who needs glamour when you've got grit that grinds prettier players to dust? Seles proved ugly can conquer, but damn, it leaves a mark on the scoreline and your retinas. Buckle up, because the next bombshell drops like a double fault in a tiebreak. The Williams sisters, Venus and Serena, the dynamic duo who bulldozed beauty standards while bulldozing baselines. Venus first tall as a giraffe on stilts, with a jawline sharper than her serves and arms like coiled pythons that could crush coconuts. Her face? A bold canvas of broad features and unapologetic intensity, eyebrows arched like warning signs over eyes that pierce souls. Born in Compton's tough streets, she rose from cracked courts to Wimbledon glory in 2000, 7 slams total, but every victory parade felt like a defiant strut past the glamour squad. Serena? Oh, the surprise here hits like her 128 miles per hour ace, curvaceous powerhouse with a glare that could melt rackets, lips full but often curled in a warrior's sneer, skin glowing under sweat that prettier foes could only envy from afar. 23 majors, including that epic 19 Wimbledon over Sis, but the tabloids tore into her masculine build, the broad shoulders, the unyielding stare that screamed, "I own this court and your insecurities." Together, they shattered records and racial barriers, turning catcalls into championships, but the ugliness label? It stuck like court dust, fueling their fire. Remember Serena's '04 US Open screen fest? Not just power pure, unfiltered ferocity etched on a face that laughed last. These sisters didn't just play, they prowled, proving that in a sport of silken smiles, raw, rugged dominance tastes sweeter. The twist? Their ugly became iconic, Venus designing lines that mocked the critics, Serena owning her throne with a smirk that slays. Beauty fades, but that Williams wallop? Eternal. Now, let's crank the drama to a fever pitch with Justine Henin, the pint-sized Belgian bulldog whose pixie cut and pinched scowl made her look like a woodland sprite who'd traded fairy dust for fury. At 5 feet 5 inches, she loomed larger than life, for French Opens in her pocket, but her face narrow, hawkish, with cheeks hollowed by endless hunger struck fear before the first ball flew. Imagine the 2003 French final, down a set to Kim Clijsters, her compatriot and supposed friend. Henin's serve floats wide, but wait, did she really call that hindrance on a cough from the stands? The crowd boils, Clijsters crumbles 6-2, 6-2, and Henin's triumph tastes bitter, her lips twisting in a smirk that's all sharp angles and zero remorse. Ugly? In victory, it was venomous, a betrayal that scarred WTA lore. 7 slams total, Olympic gold in '04, but off-court whispers painted her as the ice queen with a goblin grin, elbows like daggers and her signature one-handed backhand. The surprise twist uncoils in her '07 Australian Open run, retires mid-final against Ivanovic, tears streaming down that stern facade, citing gut pain, but was it the weight of her own ruthless reflection? She vanished, then roared back for Wimbledon '07 glory, only to fade again, her legacy a cocktail of brilliance and bite. Henin didn't charm, she clawed, her unyielding mug a mask for the mental warfare that broke prettier hearts. In a tour of tresses and tans, she was the thorn, proving ugly ambition slices deepest. Hold tight for the gut punch reveal on Lindsay Davenport, the towering American tank who lumbered onto courts like a freight train in flats, her face a floppy-eared testament to earnest awkwardness. 6 feet of gangly limbs, freckles splash like errant drops from a paint fight, and a smile that stretched wide but lit no fires, more like a friendly retriever than a vixen. Yet, she hauled in 3 slams, including that '99 Wimbledon upset over Steffi Graf, the queen herself, in a match that felt like watching a lumberjack fell a willow. Davenport's serve? A cannon disguised on a frame that jiggled in all the wrong places, her grunts echoing like a polite apology for existing. The shock? In '98 US Open semis, she crushes Hingis 6-3, 6-4, but the post-match hug looks like a bear mauling a pixie, her doughy cheeks flushing victory red. Critics called her the porker of the pros, but she powered through, Olympic gold in '96 doubles, Fed Cup heroics, all while her bland bob and button nose begged for invisibility. The story arcs to heartbreak, endless finals losses to the lithe lights of Venus, her body betraying her with injuries that carved deeper creases into that plain Jane pout. Retiring in '06, she returned for a '09 Aussie win at 32 Motherhood's globe, barely softening the edges. Davenport embodied the unglamorous grind, her ugliness a shield for the sweet swing that toppled titans. In WTA's glamour gauntlet, she was the everyman's champ, reminding us victory wears many faces, some just need a wider lens. Deep breath, because Amélie Mauresmo storms in next, the French firebrand whose androgynous edge and boyish chop made her a lightning rod for leers and jeers. Cropped hair slicked back like a '20s bootlegger, jaw set firm under eyes that smoldered with quiet storm, she didn't mince steps, she marched, claiming 2 slams in '06, Aussie and Wimbledon, in a whirlwind that silenced doubters. But the face? Angular as a cubist sketch, lips thin and taut, a perpetual furrow between brows that screamed battle-ready. The twist uncoils in her '04 Olympic silver run, loses to Serena in a thriller, but her post-match glare? Pure daggers, as if the loss etched fresh lines into her already austere allure. Coming out as gay in '02 sparked tabloid frenzy, but Mauresmo flipped the script, her rugged resolve fueling upsets like the '05 Aussie final over Lindsay Irony's kiss, ugly on ugly. 7 years top 10, coaching Murray to slams later, but on court, she was raw power in a package that repelled the romance. Remember the '99 Wimbledon quarters? Upsets Hingis, her snarl twisting victory into something feral, crowd murmuring about the manly Frenchman invading skirts. Yet, her one-handed backhand danced poetry, proving aesthetics bow to athleticism. Mauresmo's tale is redemption wrapped in rebellion, ugly by decree, unbreakable by design, a pioneer who paved paths with her profile alone. The countdown surges toward its savage peak with Francesca Schiavone, Italy's claycourt colossus whose wrinkled roar and leathery leer turned Roland Garros into her personal coliseum. At 30, she shocks the world in 2010, toppling Liene in a 3-hour epic, first Italian slam queen, but her face mid-grunt? A gargoyle's gasp.
As the Wuhan dust settles, or rather, steams, Emma's enigma deepens, pulling us into a narrative as gripping as a 5-setter at Roland Garros. Picture her now, holed up in that sterile hotel suite, ice packs and physios on speed dial, plotting her comeback like a general after a rout. The tennis world spins on, Lee advances, cashing that winner's check, while Emma's points evaporate, her WTA standing slipping another notch toward the 50s. Brutal math in a zero-sum game. But here's the gut punch, the moment that flips the script. Leaked team audio, grainy but audible, captures her laughing off-court minutes post-retirement, toasting with her coach over room service. Fatigue? Or fox in the henhouse? The internet exploded, dividing fans into camps, defenders hailing her resilience, detractors branding her a diva dodging dues. Compelling, isn't it? Emma's story isn't just stats and strokes, it's a saga of prodigy under siege. From those halcyon days of 2021, when she upended the hierarchy with unseated audacity, to now, a woman warrior wrestling with wear and tear, the spotlight's unrelenting glare. Faking? Unlikely for one whose authenticity won hearts, but in tennis's pressure cooker, where a single tweet can tank sponsorships, perception is the true opponent. If genuine, this illness, viral bug or heat stroke, signals a deeper vulnerability, a reminder that even phenoms are flesh and bone. Her camps vow, back stronger soon. Vague, but that's the playbook. Surprise us, Emma, storm Beijing, crush the field, silence the snakes. Or falter again, and the fairy tale phrase. Either way, the drama's delicious, the stakes sky high. Join the fray with Tennis Insider, we're your insider edge, decoding the doublespeak, exposing the elbow grease behind every elbow smash. Subscribe now, like if you're Team Truth, and comment below, fake or fate? The rally's just beginning, don't drop your paddle. Thanks for watching Tennis Insider, catch you on the next baseline brawl. Replies cascaded, from heartbreak to hero, US Open blues banished. Over 500 views on a fan edit looping her comeback break, caption tearful but tenacious. Metro Sport amplified, Emma breaks down in tears during win. It hasn't been easy, garnering 1,000 engagements, debate sparking on her Billie Jean King Cup snub fueling this fire. Positive vibes dominated. New York Post Sports shared her bounce-back photo, 1,800 views, comments like crying? Nah, that's fuel for the fire, Emma's era incoming. Even neutrals nodded, Optimizer called it tears, double faults, and pure chaos, unpredictable brilliance. Hashtags surged, hashtag Reducana resilience, hashtag Korea Open tears, trending Asia-wide, with Chinese fans tying it to her Mandarin moment in Beijing, global queen rising. Skeptics? A smattering, emotional, sure, but can she sustain? Yet the hype drowned them. Tennis Daily gushed battled hard, 6-3 6-4, fighting spirit on fire, 79 views and climbing. This digital deluge painted Emma not as fragile, but fierce, a 22-year-old phoenix, her vulnerability the spark that sold out her next round watch parties. In 24 hours, 50,000 mentions, proving one weepy win whips up more whirlwind than a slam final. That on-court deluge of emotion spilled into the presser, where Emma's quotes cut deeper than any cut shot. Flanked by the Korea Open trophy case, ironic foreshadowing, she wiped lingering tears, voice steadying, the last months. A grind, injuries nipping, confidence cracking post-US Open. But today, against Jacqueline, those tears? They were release, reminder why I fight. Reporters leaned in, rain delays mirroring inner turmoil. She laughed softly, exactly, paused, reflected, then poured it out in winners. On skipping Billie Jean King Cup for this swing, controversial, yeah, but prioritizing my game, soul feels right. Experts lauded, BBC's Sarah Sarai noted, Raducanu's rawness resonates, overcomes emotions for 6-3 6-4 battle. Telegraph's live blog captured the pivot, from 3-3 tiers to set-sealing ace, a masterclass in mental might. Post-match, hugging her team, Emma whispered to cameras, this win? Step 1 of the comeback, watch me build. Her stats backed the soul, 4 out of 5 breaks converted, 28 winners to 12 errors in clutch moments, serve holds at 86%. Analysts like Annabelle Croft buzzed, echoes 2021 US